Superposition principle. What is this superposition principle? Superposition principle. Suppose a number of charges are taken here in this medium, Q1, Q2 and Q3. According to superposition principle, the force on any one of the charge, say Q1, Q2 or Q3, any one charge, is the vector sum of the individual forces due to the individual charges. For example, now I place a charge Q0 here. The force on Q0 due to the charges Q1, Q2, Q3 is force on Q0 is the vector sum of the individual forces due to the other charges. Force on Q0 due to 1 plus force on Q0 due to 2 plus force on Q0 due to 3. So this is superposition principle. Once again, so suppose if you take a number of charges, say Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q0, the force on any one charge is always the vector sum of individual forces due to the other charges. If we are calculating the force on Q0, we are going to calculate what is the force of Q1 on Q0, Q2 on Q0 and Q3 on Q0. And we add these forces vectorially. This is superposition principle. Now, let us see an example. Consider 3 charges at the 3 vertices of an equilateral triangle of equal magnitude. I have taken 3 charges at the 3 vertices of an equilateral triangle of side A. Now, how do we calculate the force on any one charge? Let us see, I am calculating the force on this charge. The force due to this charge is in this direction. Let this be force F1. And force on this charge due to this one is in this direction. This is F2. So magnitude wise, these two forces are equal. So F1 bar is equal to F2 bar. Now force on this charge is, net force on this charge is F bar is equal to F1 bar plus F2 bar. So the magnitude of this force is given by root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos theta. This is the vectorial form of the resultant of all the forces acting upon this charge. So now if I write F, root of, this is F net, F1 and F2 are equal, so I can write this as F plus F square plus 2 F square cos 60, because it is a right angle triangle and the angle between the two forces is 60 degrees. So if we write the net force, F net is equal to, so root of, so 2F square plus 2F square 1 by 2. So totally F net is equal to root 3F. So what is F here? Here I am going to write what is this F. These two are equal, which is equal to F. That F is K Q square by A square. Between these two or between these two. So K Q square by distance between them is A. So K Q square by A square. So the net force upon this is given by F net is equal to root 3 K Q square by A square. So in this way we can apply the superposition principle upon the total number of charges. Let us see one more problem. Consider a charged body Q. This is divided into two parts so that the force between the two parts would be maximum. Now one part is Q dash, other part is Q minus Q dash. Then let the distance between them is R. Now the force between them is given by K Q dash into Q minus Q dash by R square. The force would be maximum. We can take in such a way that this force, depending upon how much amount of charge Q dash that you are going to divide from Q, that is, force maximum depends upon Q dash. So therefore, for maximum force, dF by dQ dash is equal to 0. By conditions of maxima and minima, for the maximum force, dF by dQ dash is equal to 0, because the maximum force depends upon the quantity of charge that is divided from Q. So now, d by dQ dash of K into Q dash into Q minus Q dash square by R square is equal to 0. Therefore, this constant, I'll bring this one, I'll bring this side, and this one I will bring this side. So d by dQ dash of Q dash Q is Q minus d by dQ dash of Q dash square is 2Q dash. 2Q dash is equal to 0. Therefore, Q is equal to 2Q dash. Q dash is equal to Q by 2. That is, from this we can understand that the charge Q must be divided into two equal parts so that the force between the two parts would be maximum. Next subtopic is electric field. Electric field. What is this electric field? Suppose the charge is taken and I am surrounding this charge by some region, and I define the electric field of this charge as it is the space or the region around a charge up to which its influence is felt, or it is the region or the space around a charge when another charge experiences the force of attraction or repulsion. Attraction or repulsion. The magnitude of the field at any point is known as field strength. The magnitude of the field is known as field strength, which is given by the electric field strength at a point in an electric field is nothing but the force experienced per unit test charge placed at that point. Now once again I repeat, the strength of the field at a point is known as electric field strength. Now from here onwards, I'll say the one which produces the field as source charge, the one which experiences the field, force due to that field, is known as a test charge. Now, the strength of the field at any point is known as field strength. The magnitude of the field strength is nothing but the force experienced per unit test charge placed at a point in the field. Now, this Q naught, limit Q naught tends to 0, F bar by Q naught represents the electric field strength at a point in an electric field. Now, this Q naught is written in such a way, it should be very small so that the influence of this field, the influence of the field due to Q naught should not exist on Q. That is why the field strength at a point is only due to the source charge, which is given by E bar is equal to limit Q naught tends to 0, F bar by Q naught. Now, electric field strength due to a point charge. You can also say that electric field due to a source charge that produces a field. Now, I have taken a charge Q. This is the source charge that produces the field. The strength of this field at a point which is at a distance of r from it is given by the electric field strength is nothing but force experienced per unit test charge placed at that point. Now I am writing here as Q naught. E is equal to the field strength at the distance r from source charge. E is equal to force, we know how to write it, K Q naught by r square by Q naught. So Q naught get cancelled. So the electric field strength E at a distance r due to the charge Q is given by KQ by r square. If it is vacuum, K basically we write it as E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q by r square. So this is the electric field strength due to a point charge at a distance r. Next subtopic is electric field due to system of charges. Electric field due to system of charges. Electric field due to system of charges or superposition principle. Superposition principle. Now consider a number of charges Q1, Q2, Q3 like that. So I want to find out the electric field due to a number of charges at a point. Let the position of this point is from Q1 is R1. Let the position of this point from Q2 is R2, and the position of this point from Q3 is R3. Now we are going to write this superposition principle as the electric field strength due to system of charges at a point is the vector sum of the individual fields due to a number of charges. So once again I repeat, the electric field strength at a point due to a number of charges in a system is nothing but the vector sum of the individual fields due to a number of charges present in the system. Therefore E bar is equal to E1 bar plus E2 bar plus E3 bar, so on. So in this way we can write the electric field strength due to a number of charges in a system at a point. So we will write this in vector form basically. So the vector form of electric field due to a charge, the vector form of electric field due to a charge can be written as, now consider a charge Q, a point P which is at a distance of r from the charge that produces the field over here. Now let the vector direction is r cap. The vector direction is r cap. Now the electric field at the point P can be written as, so 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square into the direction of the field is in this direction because the charge is positive, so r cap. So this is the vector form of electric field. If Q is positive, the field is away from the charge, If Q is negative, if the charge is negative, Q is negative, the field is towards the charge at a given point. So that is, if I write Q at this point P, if this is negative, then the field is like this, E bar, like this at a distance R. at a distance r, whose position vector is in this direction. So simply we can say that the vector form of field is given by these two equations. If the charge is positive, then the field due to this charge that produces the field at a given point is always away from the charge. And if the charge is negative, the field due to this negative charge at a point is always towards the charge. So this is the way how we can write the electric field in the form of vector. We will see one problem, the concept of null point. The concept of null point. The concept of null point. Let us see, consider two charges Q1 and Q2. Consider two charges Q1 and Q2 separated by a distance r. Now I am taking a third charge Q0 somewhere in between Q1 and Q2. If the charges product Q1 Q2 is greater than 0, if the product of the two charges Q1 and Q2 is greater than 0, then this is possible only when both the charges of same polarity, whether they are positive or they are negative. Then the third charge Q0 will experience the net force is equal to 0 or net field is equal to 0 in between the line joining the two charges. Once again, I am considering two charges Q1 and Q2 separated by a distance r. If the product of the two charges is greater than 0, that means they are of similar polarity, then a third charge or a test charge placed in between the two charges experiences the net force is equal to 0 or the net field is equal to 0 in between the line joining the two charges only. Suppose for example, if this is negative and this is negative, whether this is positive or this is negative independent. Now this will, let us think this as positive. This Q1 will attract this one in this direction. This Q2 will attract this one in this direction. So there is a possibility that this charge, known as test charge, experiences net force is equal to 0. What is the distance of the null point? It can be calculated as, now let this distance is x, let this distance becomes r minus x. Since the magnitudes of these two forces acting on this charge due to these two charges are equal, then I will write, so F1 is equal to, so F2. So F1 is K Q1 Q0 by x square, which will be equal to K Q2 Q0 by r minus x whole square. So this K Q0 will get cancelled out. Then I write r minus x by x whole square, which will be equal to Q2 by Q1. Now this r minus x by x will be equal to root of Q2 by Q1. Now we can calculate this x value where this Q0 is in equilibrium. So r by x minus 1 is equal to root of Q2 by Q1. R by x is equal to root of Q2 by Q1 plus 1. Now I can substitute this, I can manipulate it. So x is equal to r by root of Q2 by Q1 plus 1. This is the distance from the first charge where the test charge Q0 experiences net force is equal to 0 or net field is equal to 0. Removing Q0, we can simply write the fields also. So this is a way how we can find out the equilibrium point of the charge or null point of the charge. So now, if this product Q1 and Q2 is less than 0, When it will be less than 0, if one is positive and one is negative, then we can write minus q1 q2, which is less than 0. If it is less than 0, always this test charge experiences the null point or net force or net field is equal to 0 outside the line joining the two charges. Let us see how is that. Let us consider the next part of it for the equilibrium of test charge. If the product of the charges is less than 0, now consider the charges q1, q2 like this. The product of these two charges separated by a distance r is less than 0 only when they are of different polarities. One is positive and one is negative. So I am considering this as positive and this as negative. Suppose if I place a test charge, the null point of the test charge will be seen only outside the line joining the two charges. Let us see. Now, first of all, I'll put this q naught, test charge q naught in between. So this one will repel this positive test charge. This one will attract. There is no way possibility that this test charge will experience net force 0 in between the line joining the two charges. So therefore, when the two charges or the source charges are of different polarities, that is q1 q2 is less than 0, then the test charge will experience net force is equal to 0 or net field is equal to 0 only outside the line joining the two charges, whether it is this side or whether it is that side, that is whether near q1 or near q2. So I am taking this as here, the null point is here for of q naught, very near to q1. So now this charge q1 will repel this one in this direction, this charge q2 will attract this one in this direction. So there is a possibility that this test charge can experience net force is equal to 0 outside the line joining the two charges. Now let us assume that the distance of this test charge from q1 is x, from q2 it will become r plus x, r plus x. Therefore, then write the magnitude of these forces upon q naught are equal. The magnitude of these forces upon q naught due to q1 and q2 are equal. So now I can write k q1 q naught by x square, which will be equal to k q2 q naught by the distance of this q naught from q2 is r plus x. So r plus x whole square. So k q naught will get cancelled out. R plus x by x whole square is equal to q2 by q1. So r by x plus 1 is equal to root of q2 by q1. So finally r by x is equal to root of q2 by q1 minus 1. So x is equal to r by root of q2 by q1 minus 1. This is the equilibrium distance of a test charge from the charge q1. If you want to find out from q2, simply make r plus x, r plus x. So this is a method of finding out the null point of a test charge.